So what I'm going to talk about now is some updates on Rachel Morin. So for those of you who don't know, if you watch my channel regularly, you will know. Rachel Morin was another woman who went missing on a nature trail, this time in Maryland, the Mar and Par Trail. And Rachel, unfortunately, was found unalived, brutally unalived. And since then, this was in August last year, so since then the search is on for her killer. And originally we thought it was going to be easy because it turned out that there was DNA left at the scene that matched up. Yes, we're going to see my sheriff, Rio. We're going to see my sheriff talking. There was DNA found at the scene that matched up with what they're referring to as a home invasion in Los Angeles. But the more you hear about it, the more you hear that whatever happened in Los Angeles, it was a lot more serious than we were initially led to believe. So it was a multiple assault. And you'll see in a moment when my sheriff, is talking, he's saying that they strongly believe that if the person hadn't been interrupted, it would have ended up the same way as it ended up for Rachel. So this is how dangerous this man is. And surely that won't only be the only two incidences. You know, who knows? I mean, they haven't got any DNA. They haven't matched him up to any other cases by DNA. But, you know, this guy, I just cannot believe he's still at large. But let's have a look. So we're going to look first at just what a couple of, this is not that they're talking about the sheriff's interview, but the actual sheriff's not on this one. They've just got a panel saying that they, you know, maybe this guy does not have a paper trail. And of course, there's a lot of, because he's Hispanic descent, you'll find that Geraldo on here is saying, no, it might be an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, and it might be, but it might not be as well. So I'm always, you know, I don't know about that until we know, because it's not always illegal immigrants that commit horrific crimes. So I don't really like that sort of immigrant bashing until we know for sure. Maybe he is someone who's in the country illegally. Maybe he's left the country by now. Maybe he's being hidden by his family. Surely it can't be completely off the grid. But anyway, let's have a look. Oh, hang on. I've got to link it. I nearly forgot. Let me just, I've got to link it up first. Okay. So Rachel was another mother of 5 children. Her family have been blasted apart because all her children have had to go to live with their particular father, and so they're not together anymore.
Investigation this week, the Hartford County Sheriff's Department finally releasing sketches of the person they believe is her killer. More than 6 months after the murder of the mother of 5 was found dead, she's murdered on a popular hiking trail. Now remember, they already had video showing the suspect leaving a different crime scene in Los Angeles, where he's accused of assaulting a young girl during a home invasion. But you never see his face.
So we saw this back in August. We saw this guy coming out, didn't we? We noticed you could see the arm of whoever was closing the door behind him. But it's all been very sort of secretive. And I think this is part of the, well, we'll hear what Jeff has to say. Part of the problem here is the fact that this crime, if you like, or there's 2 crimes in 2 different states, and they have to match up, you know, get permission from each other to match things up. It's caused a problem, I think. This guy travels a lot. And, you know, I don't know if you remember, but ages ago, I must fish it out, actually, the video. We were doing some tarot cards, and we did tarot cards about this case. And there was a thing of traveling. So whether he is a long distance lorry driver or whether he, some people have suggested he might be in the military. I don't think he can be in the military because I think somebody would have recognised him surely by now. But anyway, but something about travelling, about moving long distances came up in the tarot card, and I remember it from August last year, and before we knew about the Los Angeles thing.
In that video, they were able to link the scenes using DNA found at both in Maryland and in Los Angeles, totally different parts of the country. And the red hat apparently is key. Police saying DNA evidence they found.
See, that red hat, he left it at the scene. So you can see as he comes out, he hasn't got a cap on, but he left a red cap at the scene, and that's where the DNA's come from that's been matched up to Rachel.
And used to track down the potential suspect came from the red hat. Hartford County Sheriff Jeffrey Gahler explained.
This composite is not only what we believe the suspect looks like, but also that hat. That hat is the red Michael Jordan Air Jordan hat with the very flat brim, the stickers on it, is the hat that was recovered.
If you notice, Jeff's got quite a few hats behind him here, a few mugs and a few hats. Bless him. Perhaps he'll want a Vicky Marie Chats mug. Perhaps I should send him one. Vicky Marie and a cup of tea, Jeff.
From Los Angeles. It's one of the items where the DNA was pulled from that led us to the match.
Rachel was reported missing by her boyfriend on August 5th after she set off for a hike at around 6 that evening and never returned. Officers found her car at the trailhead the next day, and hours later, a volunteer searcher found her body. Rachel's mother, Patty, spoke with me earlier this week about this new development.
I'm actually...
So poor mum, I mean, imagine, so, they must have felt so sort of excited, if you like, that when the DNA match was made, you would think, really, wouldn't you, this guy's going to be caught quickly. That's what we thought. So as a parent, and although it doesn't bring your daughter back, your prime concern would be that this twonk is not going to get away with this, and it must have felt encouraging when the DNA match was revealed. And then all this time later, still not been resolved. It must be awful.
Happy that we finally have a sketch and we have a face that we can look for. Having just the back of somebody's head, unless you're a mother and you know your child, or it's your best friend or your husband, it's hard to know who that person is. So having a sketch of the person's face, I just feel like the whole world's going to be looking for this man.
Let's hope so. Back with my panel. Geraldo Rivera, you have a theory about this case.
I do. Why is there no person attached to the DNA that has been found and linked between the two crime scenes? I submit that it is likely, at least to me, that this is an undocumented immigrant, an illegal alien who is not anywhere in the U.S. data bank. There's no name attached to him. He's never been arrested in the United States. It's clear, otherwise he would have popped right up. He is.
It's funny, isn't it? He looks so.
Submit.
He looks younger than I thought he was from the back and side. Also, somebody else made a comment that they think he looks slimmer. Doesn't look, because he's. You can see from the back he's like a broad guy. He's a big, strong guy. You wouldn't stand a chance as a sort of 5'2", woman like Rachel. You wouldn't stand a chance against his. He's a big guy, muscly guy. That doesn't come over on here, does it? He almost looks, but they have agreed, and Jeff will tell us later. The reason, because we've been talking about why hasn't they released a photo fit? Well, apparently the reason is that they've released they've made loads of photo fits, but trying to get everybody that's been a witness, because there's quite a few witnesses from Los Angeles and quite a few witnesses from Maryland that had seen this guy on the trail, etc., to get them all to agree on one photo fit, because they didn't want to put anything out there that then the people in Los Angeles were going to say, oh no, that didn't look like him, or the people in Maryland were going to say, oh no, we didn't think that looked like him. So it's taken all this time to come to an agreement amongst all the various witnesses and etc. that they've got, that this is an accurate photo fit.
Likely an undocumented person whose identity is unknown because he's one of millions now in the country without authorization and without any kind of paper trail, so to speak.
That is, Jesse, if he's still in the country, right? I mean, that's going to be a big thing. Now,
see how broad he is. I don't think that comes over in that photo fit, but they've all agreed, all the witnesses have agreed now that that is how he looks. But now and then, of course, we know how he looks from the back. So surely with the photo fit now of his face, which looks, pretty lifelike, his body shape, etc. Surely, I mean, I know he will have changed his looks by now. He's probably got a beard. He could have put a pair of glasses on, grown his hair, done whatever, or shaved his head. He will have changed his appearance, I'm sure. But somebody knows who this guy is. Somebody somewhere knows exactly who he is and knows exactly where he is.
Sheriff also released what they viewed as another key detail, that they believe that the killer was in Maryland for a few days before the murder, suggesting that they have evidence that he was spotted, etc.
Yeah, so this was interesting as well. So they think now, just saying that they think he was in Maryland a few days before. So it just, they've got some proof. They've probably got CCTV or witnesses seeing him, that he had been there for a few days. So he went to Maryland for a reason. I think he went to Maryland to escape what he'd done in Los Angeles, but he must know someone in Maryland for him to go there. He's not going to surely he's just not going to pick Maryland off a map. Like, oh, well, where will I go? I'll go to Maryland. I mean, it is more or less the furthest away part of the country that you could probably go to. But, people tend to go where they know, or at least if they know someone, not just, turn up somewhere. So he knew someone in Maryland. He went there for a reason.
Does that change anything?
Look, I think this is a great development. I'm cautiously optimistic because this sketch would have been great 6 months ago. You look at the photo, maybe someone will be like, oh, I remember that guy, but doesn't have those kind of distinguishing characteristics. He may look entirely different now than he did. And as much as they talk about the red hat, does he still have it? I mean, is he wearing it at other places? It's a great.
See, it's stupid what he's saying there, because no, he hasn't still got it, because that's the whole point. He left it at the place. So I think he's missed the point there a bit. No, he doesn't still have that red hat. He won't be wearing that particular one, because that's what the police have got in their possession, which is how they know about the DNA matching. So no, we won't be still wearing the red hat, or not that one. I'm sure he's picked up a different one by now. But he's right, he hasn't got, like, his ears are a little bit sticky outy, aren't they? But really, he is not necessarily someone you would notice, apart from his ears sticking out, which of course he might have covered up by his hair, with his hair by now. He's not particularly distinctive. He hasn't got particularly big nose or a small nose, or he's got quite a face that you sort of wouldn't notice. But his ears are a little bit sticky outy, but nothing spectacular.
Great thing. But at the same time, it would have been more useful 6 months ago. Maybe it'll strike somebody's memory and say, I remember seeing somebody with that exact description in Maryland. But again, I'm cautiously.
And this is interesting, because the sheriff talked about why it took them so long, right? This is number one.
We've had other composites, and we've had questions about that people heard there was composite done. But when it was shown to witnesses, again, people here, people there in Los Angeles, people here in Hartford County, they didn't feel that it was an accurate representation. So we weren't going to push something out that even our witnesses don't, just because we have one doesn't, that they don't have a high level of confidence.
Misty, the families have been frustrated. I'm sure law enforcement's frustrated as well. But 6 months later, finally getting a sketch.
Yeah, finally getting the sketch. And I mean, they don't want to get this wrong. It sounds like they waited until they had what they could create the most accurate sketch. It's difficult, Dan, when you have these crimes in different jurisdictions to bring that together. But now there's the sketch. There's also a reward attached. So to the extent that somebody's seen this individual, they could be incentivized to come forward. And don't forget electronic footprint. Now this sketch is out there. Could he have been?
Yeah, now the reward is now $35,000. So it's gone. It was 10, then it became 20, then it was 13. Now it's $35,000. That's a lot of money for someone. So there'll be somebody out there who knows exactly who this person is, who won't want to, grass on them, but will be thinking, oh, $35,000.
Been caught on some form of CCTV? Could there be video?
And of course, the other problem is, if there is somebody out there who knows who this guy is, and maybe the person who knows who he is illegally in America as well, doesn't want to put their head up above the parapet because they'll feel like then they'll get deported, so that's a reason as well, even though they might be really want to dob him in, want to tell on him, but they'll be worried about the repercussions for them if they also are in America illegally. So there's all those sort of things to take into consideration.
Footage that somebody is in possession of that could now be sent to law enforcement. It's certainly a step in the right direction.
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation.
Okay, so that's that. Now now we're going to watch the actual full interview with my sheriff. Which I don't know how I missed it being when it was on a couple of days ago. And I have notifications from News Nation, but anyway, it didn't come up. As we know, notifications don't always come up when we want them to. Okay, so this is the full interview now with Jeff on News.
Sheriff Jeff Gahler, whose department in Maryland released those new sketches. Sheriff, so great to talk to you again. At this point in the investigation, it's now been months since her body was discovered. Why these new sketches now?
Well, last week, sadly,
Sorry, I just want to say that the lady, the reporter, she is undergoing chemotherapy at the moment. That's why her head's shaved.
The 6-month anniversary since Rachel's homicide, and investigators we're still following the leads, but obviously over the course of 6 months, the leads have slowed down. So investigators are working back through every lead, every piece of information, every investigative lead that we can to date. And one of the things are what is it that we've kind of held close to our vest for investigative purposes that maybe we can put out there. So we released a couple additional pieces of information related to it, but the big thing was the composite. And from early on, people asked us about why there wasn't a composite. Several have been worked on, but at no point in time did we have one where the people who were involved in the incident in Los Angeles 6 months earlier and the people, witnesses that we have here in Hartford County who saw a suspicious subject in the days and hours leading up to Rachel's death along the hiking trail, all look at the sketch that we have completed now and say that it is a very good rendering, a accurate rendering of our suspect. So obviously that's the best piece that we've had to push forward since the video.
Yeah, imagine it taking all that time to get them all to agree, on what it looks like. I suppose it's difficult because of the, trying to, because I think there's quite a lot of witnesses. So the family from the home invasion, also there's quite a lot of witnesses from the park. Then there'll be other people that they've spoken to who, I think they do know who this guy is personally, just they don't know where he is. So they're trying to, I think they've spoken to people who may even be related to him or friends of his or whatever. I think they do know who he is. But the problem is finding him, isn't it? So he's under the radar somewhere. But see, I like, this is what I like about Jeff. He just says, he just always sounds so calm and reassuring, and he just says what he can say, and when he can't say something, he just says, "Oh, I can't talk about that." It's so refreshing. Just, this is how the police should be, in my eyes.
A lot of people have asked why we don't release the video of him coming into the house and showing the front view. It's because there is not one that we have. So this sketch hopefully will be the trigger we need, and that hat, I think, is key. That is the Air Jordan hat that he had on in Los Angeles in March of last year when he committed the home invasion there and the violence there. And it was recovered and the DNA was pulled from it.
And Sheriff, I do want to talk about that video of that assault in California. If we can roll that, because we have these new sketches that your department has released. We know the suspect is linked to a sexual assault in California, but let's take a look at this video. So we see this suspect leave the house. The door was open for a moment, and then it closes. Have investigators in California been able to provide any new information?
And our investigators have been working closely with the investigators out there in Los Angeles. I have to be clear that is their crime. It's an active investigation. And I don't believe anywhere in any of the releases so far that it's been classified as anything other than assault. So, a lot of people are asking what.
Yeah, they're very, and it's not him, because in Los Angeles, as he was saying, they've been very wary of how they've classified this crime. He's saying I couldn't see it could be called anything but assault. But gosh, it's so mysterious, isn't it? You want to know what exactly happened.
Was there a sexual assault? I know we haven't released any information one way or the other here in Hartford County, and I don't believe they have either. But there was an assault within that residence of multiple people by that individual,
of multiple people. So it says there was an assault in that residence of multiple people, and this twonk walks out like, he's got all the time in the world. And why has he not got his shirt on? What was he just about to do? It's oh my God, please God, let this guy be caught, because it's scary to think he's wandering around. Nobody knows where he is.
There were several people in that house at the time of the assault. And again, with the composite, although you don't get a good look at him coming out the door, those witnesses have looked at the image we've released and said it is an accurate portrayal of the person who committed the home invasion there.
And people certainly are innocent until proven guilty, but many times when a woman is murdered, immediately fingers point at a boyfriend, a husband, a loved one. We know that her boyfriend does have some criminal history. Has Rachel's boyfriend been full?
Now she's asking him here now, you'll see, has her boyfriend been included? Because when this initially happened, there was a few different suspects. There was Michael, who Charlie mentioned before, who his daughter or his stepdaughter actually found Rachel's body in the tunnel. We're going to see the tunnel in a moment. And so he was thought of as suspicious, because how did he know? He said he just had a feeling that she would be in one of the tunnels. There's two tunnels close together. This Michael, he went into one, sent his stepdaughter into the other, and his stepdaughter found the body, the very brutalized body of Rachel. Also under suspicion at the time was Rachel's boyfriend. She had a boyfriend. He has had some history of domestic violence, not with Rachel, but with drugs and violence from earlier in his life. And he was very public about it and said, look, I've completely changed. He was been to rehab, he was drug free, etc. So he had to come out and defend himself for a while, until this DNA came out. And then this DNA breakthrough that we thought was going to lead to an almost instant arrest of this twonk. When that came out, that virtually, more or less ruled out the boyfriend, and Jeff's going to tell us about that now.
Fully cleared.
Well, I've said investigators are not focused on him. That this DNA ties that subject directly to Rachel's homicide. That's who we're looking for. That he was involved in her death. Will we ever know, without apprehending him, if others were involved? I don't want to say anyone is excluded completely until we have that individual in custody and we've had.
See how he always knows the right thing to say, because he's saying it's true. You know, he doesn't want to exclude anybody because he can't exclude anybody yet until they get the individual, they get the confession or whatever. But he goes on to say, but as far as they're concerned, you know, as far as they know at the moment, the boyfriend cannot be, he's not involved. So he always just says the right thing.
Had an opportunity to talk to him, and he faces a criminal justice system. But you know, again, her boyfriend, you know, has cooperated fully with this investigation, has given, you know, stories that have been verified. So again, I wouldn't list him as even a potential suspect at this time, but I'm not willing to say anybody on this planet didn't contribute to this until we have him in custody.
Yeah, and I want to, just reiterate what you just said, that the boyfriend has fully cooperated. Sheriff, I know you have said you believe this culprit could be a serial killer. You said that in the past. Do you still think that could be a reality?
Sure, and again, we're not free to talk about what happened in Los Angeles, but I do think had he had more opportunity there, it would have been a worse crime scene there, similar to what we are investigating in Rachel's case.
God, just hearing him say that makes you go cold. So he's saying, we can't discuss what happened, but I feel that if he had been left, to carry on, it would have been just a much worse crime scene, similar to what had happened to Rachel. So, my God, that was so. Gradually he's letting out little nuggets of things, but that's not his investigation, I suppose.
And no people, no individuals here, there, or anywhere deserve their life to be ended in such a way. Rachel was a young mom, 5 children, mom, sister, brother, still, and looking for answers, looking for this person. I have no doubt in my mind. I've been doing this 40 years. If this guy is not caught, he will do it again.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
There you go. So I have no doubt in my mind, he says, if this guy is not caught, he will do it again. He is a predator. So whatever happened in Los Angeles, it was a lot more serious than we even know, wasn't it? So, okay, now I'm going to show you something which is a little bit, well, it's very, very sad. So I just want to warn you about that. Because we're going to look at a video of the tunnel where Rachel was found. And it's not only sad because it's, just horrible to think this is how somebody how their life ends, thanks to that guy. But also her brother is in this tunnel talking about what he thinks, about what her last moments have been like. So I just want to warn you now, it is a little bit harrowing, so be aware of it, please. If you're sensitive, you probably shouldn't watch it. So I want to give credit to the YouTube channel, which is called Storyteller, but I couldn't find a way to contact them. It's just a very short video. I'm not sure how they came to get this video or whatever, but anyway, it gives an insight into what happened to Rachel. I mean, it's just awful to think that she ended up. So this is the tunnel that the twonk, he dragged her off he'll have attacked her, laid in wait for her, dragged her off the trail, took her into this tunnel, and that's where he did whatever he did, which was, R.A.P.'d her, and also battered her to death with a rock or something. And apparently it was a very, very traumatic, crime scene. And that Michael, who was talked about, I remember him making the comment, she won't be having an open coffin, let's put it that way, which is a bit of a tactless comment. But anyway, So yeah, just to warn you, it's a bit harrowing.
In this tunnel, you know, kind of looks like a sewer.
So this is one of Rachel's brothers.
You know, I think about her laying here, and you know, I wonder if she was, you know, half awake, looking at the light and just saying, I just got to make it to that light. She thinking about her kid.
Oh God, it's just it's so sad. But you know, it's this tunnel thing. You know, if you believe in sort of near-death experiences and the tunnel, I've said in another video, my mum, when she nearly died, she had literally had this experience, and she was the least kind of person that believed in anything like that. Now, I just want to say that Rachel's family, and I presume Rachel herself then, her mum particularly, they're very religious, so they believe in the life after death, etc. And I expect their faith is what's keeping them going at the moment. Just want this twunk to be caught so that they can rest in peace knowing that he's not out there doing it to somebody else. Because men like that, they don't ever stop, you know, and Jeff said that, and he knows. He's, you know, when someone's a psychopath who does things like that, he's not going to stop. You can't switch that off in your head. I'm surprised there's not more cases, to be honest, that are linked to him.
Is she thinking about me?
Oh.
Did she feel hopeless here?
Oh.
Think about warm, you know, feeling warm under her head, and then making the connection. That's blood. It's dark. Did you feel alone? It's not. Think about like what she looked like, you know, beaten or whatever. It's like still pretty. I don't care how dirty, how scary, you know, how she felt. I wish I could feel it for her. And I won't look away. That's kind of why I'm spending so much time in these tunnels, this tunnel specifically.
So yeah, that's quite that's very emotional, isn't it? Very emotional. Hi, Mello. Actually, I think oh no, there's new. Hi, Simon. Hi, Annie. Hi, Julie Dawn. But yeah, what a very sad place. That's right, you know. So I hope, you know, just that twonk's face looking down at you. Great, that's your last sight. But anyway, I'm not sure why her brother went there, or maybe get some comfort for being where she was, you know, last, if you like, and what she felt last. He obviously gets some sort of comfort from it, but it's very sad, very sad. Okay, so I think that's what I've got to show you about Rachel. Hello, Riley. Hello, Riley. Gonna give me a little cuddle. I need a cuddle after watching that. I do. I need a cuddle after watching that. It was very sad. It was very sad. Oh. Okay, so we need something a bit lighter now, don't we? After watching that, which was quite sort of traumatic, we need something a bit lighter. So something that I just want to finish on, that I saw today on X or Twitter. I can't get used to calling it X. Now, do you remember, some of you, come on, oh, Riley, come on, give me a cuddle. Oh. Yeah, give me a cuddle. The dogs always make you feel better, don't they? They give you a cuddle and then you feel better. So what I want to look at now just something a bit lighter, just to make you laugh. Do you remember, those of you who are of a certain age, you'll remember Sasquatch, you know, and all the talk about the Yeti or the Sasquatch. Do you remember? So anyway, there's been a video come out of the Sasquatch from years ago that was supposedly seen, and it's been stabilized. So it just makes me laugh because this is the original Bigfoot. You remember this video? And people believe it's not a man. No, it's not a man dressed up in a suit. Obviously not. But people really believe that maybe this was like a Yeti or the missing. Oh dear me! When you look at it now, it's just like what? Or do you believe it? Do you believe it's Sasquatch? But I remember. I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I was only young, I think. It was hilarious, really, now looking at it. But everybody did think it then. Don't forget, we're going back, you know, a lot of years, and people believed it. People really believe it. It looks like a man walking in the street, but the face just looks like a man. So, I don't, but you remember it? It just looks silly now. And then when you go down and look at, I found some other videos then, of course, like you do.
A large dark figure can be seen running between.
So on this video, as the you know, this is what you do, I suppose, in America. You take your kids out hunting, shooting, or Kentucky Bigfoot. So apparently, if you watch this video, at some point you see a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, as they call them, running along here and go down on all fours, they say. But anyway, you tell me what you think.
In the trees in the background before dropping to all fours. The video was posted to YouTube in 2011, and according to Mega Frightful, the family didn't initially notice the figure and had thought the helicopter was watching them, but instead, perhaps it was actually hunting the assumed Bigfoot. So what are your thoughts on this video? As always, we love to hear from you. Drop us a comment below, and if you enjoy our Bigfoot content, be sure to share and follow and find us on YouTube.
There really is a Kentucky Bigfoot organisation. Then what do? They just go out looking for Bigfoot.
And Facebook for more.
Okay. Targets. Okay. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Close. Try.
Got it.
You gonna try the shotgun? Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? Okay. Let's see, did you get anything? Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? Okay.
It's a Sasquatch.
Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock?
Did you hear the helicopter? I think there must have been a manhunt going on. I reckon that helicopter was looking for this guy. And he was running along here. And It's probably that Daniel Cavalcanti that when we were following him when he was on the run. Now, I think it's important to remember that years ago when that other Sasquatch thing came out, it was a big thing that people were talking about, you know. It's like sort of died down now. Nobody talks about it, but it was all over the news. It was everybody, you know, it was a massive thing.
Okay.
Just watch one more.
Targets. Okay. Oh, nice. Close. Try. You got it. You gonna try the shotgun?
Yeah, do you reckon that helicopter, it's a manhunt, and then this man who it's just some guy runs across, but they're saying it's a Bigfoot.
Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick.
No wonder he ran, because he had the bloody gun going off, that's why.
You okay, Brock? You okay? Let's see, did you get anything? Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? You okay? Whoa!
Anyway, I just thought it was quite
funny. You okay, Brock?
Hi, Rachel. Dear me. Okay, now then, let's see if there's, just have a look, see if there's any more Bigfoot. Oh, that's that. Let's have a look. Oh, there was another one. Oh, this guy.
Near where I live, called Bel Air.
Now he's looking for something else. He was out doing some, let's have a look. What was he out doing? He was using his drones looking for bears during bear season, and he records a Bigfoot, according to this. So let's see.
What the world?
Look.
What is that? Oh, that's incredible. What? No way. Are you serious? What? What is that?
That's got to be a guy in a suit again, surely.
Oh, man.
God.
What the world?
God, it's... Are we going to see it again? You know, 'cause there's a part of me that really wants to believe in these kind of things. I think it's a throwback to when I was a kid and everybody was talking about it. And it was just so exciting to think there might be a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. And of course, in today's day and age, sort of, we don't know it, don't see it again. So yeah, this part of me wants to believe it, wants to think there's, hi Matthew, wants to think there's a Bigfoot somewhere. Hi Caroline. Ah. So I can see there's still quite a lot of you on there, but I've sort of what I was so I've told you about the Nicola Bulley docu-series I'm going to be doing. We've talked about the lack of information in the Samantha Murphy case, and I do feel with Rachel Morin, after we've watched about the Rachel Morin case, feels like maybe surely somebody's going to recognise that twonk and give him up, finally give him up. But okay, so that's it. That's all for tonight. Thank you. So many of you were here. Thank you so much. So we'll be praying for Samantha's safe return. Still praying for it. It's every day that passes, it seems more unlikely, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. And then the other missing girl, the other missing woman in Madrid, of course, that I did an update on today. She's another one, another missing person that doesn't look too promising, but you just never know. So, but anyway, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, and I hope you found it interesting and a little bit about Sasquatch at the end. Yeah. I sort of part of me wants to believe in Sasquatch. It's like wanting to believe in Father Christmas and the Tooth Fairy and all that sort of thing. But thank you. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you very soon, as always, in the next video. But remember to live and love wisely, carefully. Also, when you go out in the woods, not only you've got to worry about psychopaths attacking you, there might be a Sasquatch in there as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're all so sweet. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Thank you. Night, night.